Fellow Rwandans, ladies and gentlemen, it's Michael Mopende greeting you again. Today, my discussion is about rebel leaders that transition into state leadership. Here, I would like to share with you some serious reflections about a dangerous and deeply rooted culture that has taken hold across Africa, particularly in systems of military-led governance, focusing on Kagame's Rwanda as an example. In many cases, former rebel armies transition into state military forces that are treated as the personal army of an individual, just as Rwanda's army, which is absolutely unacceptable. We have seen soldiers promoted not based on merit, experience, or dedication, but simply because they were once escorts, or they once served as escorts or bodyguards or aides to political or rebel leaders. Take an example of Kagame's former CDFs, Presidential Guard bosses, Special Forces, Intelligence, and in all other so-called government positions. I call them the so-called government positions because these people are there only to please their master, Kagame, but not to work or serve the state. This way of thinking has created a culture of servitude where the soldiers becomes employees of a person of president or leader, instead of being servants of the nation. It reminds us of the feudal client-master system of the past, more especially in the case of our Rwanda. We have seen those who were bodyguards being handed powerful positions, outranking their colleagues who may have much greater expertise, achievements, and experience either on the battlefield or in other sections or sectors of national service. This damages not only the military, but also the entire nation. It creates favoritism, division, authoritarianism, and it destroys morale and hope for professional soldiers or civil servants who work hard but go unrecognized or unrewarded. I myself rejected this system. I raised my concerns with Kagame's political circle many times. Most dismissed me, but I have never been willing to collaborate with a leadership based on discrimination, fear, blind obedience, brutality, and shallow thinking. Here is the history actually hidden history of Kagame's relationship with Museveni. As I said before, the true history of how Kagame entered politics has not been fully told Kagame started as a low-ranking soldier in the NRA, the National Resistance Army of Uganda, serving for 5 years as Museveni's personal bodyguard, escort, as you'll be shown in the pictures posted here. Which role came to shape Kagame's future career as a leader? Because this role of a bodyguard, personal, defined much of Kagame's military experience, it left Kagame with a deep psychological complex, a feeling of inferiority. He constantly feared being looked down upon, seen as weak or incapable. Internally, he felt he deserved something better. That insecurity drove him to constantly assert dominance, to boast, and to portray himself as a superior force. This inferiority complex led to dangerous behaviors like selfishness, a need to control others, and a rejection of teamwork or collaboration around shared national goals. As I have told you before, and I will say it again, Kagame's drive to take over the return to Rwanda military campaign and later the country itself came from this complex. He plotted intensely and saw that those who might stand in his way as threats, he made sure they were eliminated so he alone could rise. Anyone who served with us in NRA knows this truth. If Kagame hadn't assassinated Fred Rwigyema and later Adam Wasswa and Bayingana and Bunyenyezi, where could Kagame have fitted? What role could he have played? It's a big question mark. For those reasons and more, Kagame chose to destroy his perceived rivals so he could monopolize the revolution and the state. Ladies and gentlemen, I look forward to meeting you in our next discussion, part 2 of this discussion. Be blessed. Goodbye.